Hey everybody, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network. So a weird dialogue going on. It seems like every time that there is some sort of, positive bit of news when it comes to television ratings or, ticket sales or whatever, it's, a drummed up, like, propaganda-esque level, spin job by either Tony Khan or somebody else who, is just trying to get in the good graces or maybe is pocketing money. And, I've been called a grifter, but these people are actually grifters. And I got to call it out here because there was a report that came out that said that Dynamite combining the max, viewership is averaging 1 million viewers per show, which is complete and utter bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit from this perspective. Like it's hard for me to believe that a company that is averaging 2,000 people in a stadium, in 2,000 people in an arena, that they are able to, like, net out the amount of viewership that they have on a streaming platform that a lot of people don't even know exists. Netflix is on, I don't know the actual number, but it's at least double or triple the amount of subscribers that, Max is available on. And Max is readily available to a lot of people and there's a lot of good stuff there. But I'm telling you right now that they are not going for streaming, wrestling content. And when I saw this story and I saw so many AEW fans trumpeting this out, I'm like, okay, that's odd. Because here's the biggest indicator that you need to know as to why I do not think that this is true. Tony Khan. Tony Khan has not said a word about this. If Tony Khan had said something about this, first of all, we would have immediately blown it dead too. The fact that he's not even giving this report lip service tells me that this is complete and utter bullshit. Because Tony Khan is the first person that will trumpet out the most insignificant statistic or go after the most insignificant records known to man. Case in point, they're going to be at the MGM Concert Hall at Fenway Park in a month to celebrate passing WCW, a promotion that has been dead for 25 years, just because they want to get one over on Eric Bischoff. If they had the amount of viewership that is being speculated on Max, they would have been yelling and screaming from the mountaintops that, hey, we've been on Max for 3 months now. We're now into April, and hey, we're averaging 1 million viewers total. Great viewership, but you have not heard any ounce of a reference from even the biggest mouthpieces like Dave Meltzer saying they have not even speculated on this. This is the first that we have heard of any numbers that were even speculated about. And Tony Khan is not even talking about it. What does that tell you? That tells you that this is not true. It's not true. It's just people crunching numbers and, like, trying to rationalize that and, trying doing some math and trying to, like, put a number in front of the few sycophants that, buy into this crap and want to just, like, prop it up. And, if Tony Khan were to say something, he knows he'd be encouraging a lot of it too. But at least with that, you'd be like, hey, we could actually, at least you made me think, hey, maybe there is some validity that they're trying to, like, come up with some concocted number. But the fact that this just came from some guy named BJ Bethel, who's kind of missed on a couple of stories. I think it's SE Scoops that it's just like what purpose does this serve? Because this is the type of stuff that drives me crazy about this promotion, is that they are so focused on the wrong things. They're so focused on, insignificant records, banger matches, no storylines, gratuitous violence, and just crazy viral internet moments and, like, cheap internet shit. Um, letting the talent run their own creative and giving them the power that they don't deserve. And it's led to this disaster that has really transpired over your face. And it's just like, I see, I almost kind of laugh at this in the way that, some of these metrics just come out and, people want to bark at somebody like me saying, "Hey, you're always so negative about AEW." I was like, guys, my thing has always been this is like, I expect better because when I saw from this promotion in its first 3 years, from 2019 to even during COVID, it was actually okay. And they made, but I would say until about the whole brawl out situation in 2022. So the first like 2 or 3 years of this promotion was some of the best wrestling content because they actually told stories. They actually had compelling talent. They actually seemed like a promotion that gave a shit about their fans and wanted to grow and change the industry. Now it's just about like, being a bunch of indie schmucks and, just hanging around with your friends and just like, like sort of coasting on, getting paid because the boss, makes all this money. It's like John Cena said in his promo. He said to Cody, he's like, "Hey, um, I build empires for billionaires. You just take money away from their kids." And I was like, yeah, that's literally what has happened. Is John Cena kind of walked so AEW could run and be a promotion because hey, like Cody said in that promo, created a bunch of disenfranchised fans who wanted to go elsewhere, fair or not. And a lot of that had to do with Vince McMahon. And it led to a lot of people migrating to AEW because, hey, it's the cool new thing. And there was cool things going on. But then they just became this knockoff AEW, this knockoff WWE brand. And now they're just, kind of figuring out what the hell they are. They have a bunch of ex WWE people. They have a bunch of flip guys who don't sell and don't do any of this. And it's like, if that's for you, fine. But where I draw the line at is when you try to say, "Hey, look at me, look at me. Hey, we've got this amount of viewers on Max. Hey, look, we're gonna pass Eric Bischoff's WCW in a few weeks." Who gives a shit? Just write better television. Do a better job in making your product interesting rather than, putting on the worst main event angle that I've seen in modern wrestling with the Death Riders. Maybe try doing something that's, interesting, not trying to destroy your women's division with what I thought was going to be the most significant, female talent hire of any wrestling promotion with Mercedes Moné, which has become an abject failure. And a lot of people with a lot of different hats bear the responsibility for that one. But guys, what the fuck are we doing with this rating shit? Like, I bring up the ratings because where AEW was a couple years ago to now, and the fact that they're just content with that. And now, hey, you've got anonymous sources and people reporting that, hey, after a few months, hey, these are the max numbers. These are the max numbers. And people actually expect me to believe that that's the case when even the owner who trumpets up the biggest amounts of bullshit ever won't even give it lip service. This isn't true. You need to focus on better shit. And again, I'm just going to keep saying it on this segment. And you could call me a grifter, but I don't make a dime off of this. I'm just expecting better from a bunch of people who are making a ton of money there, and a promoter who got his second contract just wants to pat himself on the back and say, haha, I was able to fool David Zaslav into giving me almost $200 million a year for the next 3 because he wanted a wrestling promotion because he was losing the NBA. Like, that's all this is, man. Like, and until this company, like, actually realizes, hey, we need to make some tangible changes, they're never going to be successful. Like, they'll just be like, using Tony Khan's money to subsidize this thing and make sure that this thing goes on, but it's not going to make a damn difference. So when I keep seeing stories like this, I almost have to laugh because it's pathetic. It's pathetic that people are trying to prop this up and try to say, hey, this is actually going well. It's not. They may be having better shows, but it's not showing in a lot of the metrics that matter. And then you have to use other ways to celebrate and, get through shows like with this cheap, hey, we're going to pass Nitro. Who cares? Move on. All right. Anyway, thanks so much. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.